Hello and welcome, kindred, to another episode of A Study in Ivory, Manapot Studios' newest Vampire the Masquerade 5e Chronicle, in which we explore what it means to be a vampire in the service of the Ivory Tower, the Camarilla. I am your host and storyteller for this evening, Krifu Bernal. Thank you all for being here. We are missing one of our players tonight. Anya is at KatsuCon. So if you're there, you should probably be enjoying the con and watching us on YouTube at a later date.
What are you doing here? Get out of here.
What are you
Skedaddle.
doing?
Also say hi to her if you see her.
Yeah, go see Anya and say hi. But let's go ahead and meet our resident vampires, starting with Henrik.
Good evening, I'm Henrik, and I will be playing Rainier Betrog of the Ministry, a Setite, or rather former Setite, because we are the Ministry now, who deals with everything unsavory and has great ambition. Let's see where that leads him.
What a good introduction.
Mhm,
God.
Yep.
Inez, let's see if you can top that.
Oh God, I can't. I'm not. That's not like my literacy level is not that high.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Just have fun.
Exactly. Hi everyone. My name's Inez. I use she/her pronouns, and tonight, as all other nights, I will be playing Megara Monet, the brick house gang girl who is also a lesbian. There you go.
And last but not least, I would like everyone to wish a very happy birthday to Marcus.
Yay!
Aw,
Happy
thank
Happy
birthday.
you.
birthday!
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Marcus, known online as the Chindividual, and I am so happy to play with this group on my birthday and to fulfill the role of Maxime Toussaint, the local Tremere who likes book, blood sorcery, and planning to overthrow the government. But we're going to see how that turns out, and looking forward to today's session.
He's so like me.
He like book, he sit and nook, but most importantly, he will overthrow the government. There we go.
That doesn't
Is-
rhyme, but it's still good.
Mhm.
Yes, so previously in our last episode, we got to reconnect, rekindle our connection with our kindred, if you will, a few months later after the dramatic events of the summer. I will say most importantly, I think we ended with Maxime expressing some thoughts of usurpation, which I learned that word recently as I was prepping for this episode. The act of usurping, of trying to overthrow the monarch, the Rainier, someone else, the person reigning, in this case, Prince Corentin of Nice. We'll see how serious Maxime was about those ideas, as well as see how other people might be reacting to them in tonight's episode, Maxime's Mistakes. Take us to the movies.
We're back.
A autumn storm has settled in over the city of Nice. Last night, the winds blew in a fierce rain that has drenched the city, sending people scurrying for cover. Overhead, we can see the narrow streets of Nice. And instead of people, all we see are just umbrellas. Eventually, as the sun goes down, we come to a beautiful, beautiful apartment building, which we now recognize as the haven of our kindred. Before we jump into things roleplay wise, I do have mechanical questions, which we did not cover last time. I'd like, first off, everyone make a rouse check as we wake up for today, because we did not do that last time. We just kind of left it.
Yes.
Rouse
rouse
And we
check.
probably should.
There's a
should,
button on the character sheet for that.
rouse
Sure
check.
is.
I'm
Oh,
actually looking for that. Ah, there we are.
I am so not
Mm.
hungry.
Well
Y'all
done.
can
Huh?
take me.
Rainier's a bit peckish.
Ooh. Hoo-hoo. Hunger 3.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Renier and Maxime rolled the same number. Wonder what that means. Probably nothing.
The universe is telling us something.
So, hunger 3 for Maxime. Renier. Hunger
Hunger 2.
2. And Meg.
Hunger 1.
Hunger 1.
She is not hungry.
She's not hungry. And Meg wakes up. I don't want to tell you how you're feeling, Meg. But with a critical success on that rouse check, I feel like your blood is.
It's feeling good.
Yeah.
It's tumble out of bed and tumble in the kitchen. That's how she's waking up. That baseline in 9 to 5. That's what she wakes up with. Dun, 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 dun.
Because I can imagine that, like, when you fail the rouse check for waking up, it's literally your blood has been still. It has been dead all day long. So that when you rouse, the blood activates, and for our two who failed, their blood needed extra. It used up some of the blood in their system, so it's sluggish. But yeah, that there's a in Meg here there's a like a baseline in your veins tonight.
Yes.
Can you
So
describe
she-
what it looks like? What we see, the camera opens on Meg waking up in her apartment.
I think that would focus on her bedroom for sure, which is messy. It's a messy bedroom. Not like messy like me. Which is like clothes like everywhere and like unpacked suitcases and all that stuff. For her, it's like there's some clothes here and there, and there is like maybe some blood bags on the floor, even though she's not a bagger, but she always keeps blood bags on hand in her fridge. So those might have been from, or those interesting. Those might have been from people who are visiting. And then also there's clothes lying around that she doesn't know because she gets people over to feed on. And she is a siren. So, yeah. But I think if we the camera opens on her bedroom and then it zooms in and it pans over her bed, and she opens up those beautiful cat eyes, and I think it's like her hair, it's already like looking good. Like it's like while she was laying there, it was laying in a very like beautiful position, and she, I don't know, then she just like gets up, she's feeling very energetic, and she opens the curtains, which she almost never does, but she sees the beautiful moon out there and she's like like she feels very refreshed, and so she puts on a very skimpy outfit, let's say, like for like what I'm wearing now, almost like a lot of skin showing. And yeah, I think that's when she goes to the kitchen she takes care of Tony.
What
Gives
does
him
Tony eat?
He gives him a piece of cheese, you know.
Okay.
Um,
Hey,
Yeah.
finally, the mouse says.
what do you mean? Finally, I've just woken up.
Yeah, and I'm hungry.
Oh my god! So you're a mouse and you can't hunt for your own? Oh.
He frowns, as much as a mouse can frown.
And then after that, I think she gets on the couch and plays some video games before she starts thinking about what to do for the rest of the day. She does know that she has some assignments, let's say, or some self-given assignments. But she likes to start her day off in a relaxed way. So like she plays some video games and gets whatever anger she didn't get out the previous night. She gets out there. I'd like to think that Meg is very toxic in video games.
Oh God.
I'd like to think that she has the headset on and she's like, "You fucking suck, kid!" Like she's roamed around the Call of Duty lobbies. So that's where she got that from. But yeah, after a couple games, I'd say she goes out for a walk. Maybe, yes.
So, yeah, after a couple games, let's say about an hour after you wake up,
Okay.
you finished a match conveniently. Maybe you're getting ready. Your door buzzes.
And so while she's like getting ready, and listening to music, we said previously she listens to R&B a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's kind of like, she's kind of feeling it. She's kind of getting in the groove. And then her door buzzes and she's like, all right. And then she gets ready really quick. And she goes over to the door, the camera system, right? Because it's people downstairs buzzing to get in, I'd say, right?
Typically.
All right. Well, yeah, she looks at the camera first, the camera feed.
There's no one there. And
Is
then
there
you
a microphone?
There is.
Who's there?
It's Alex, and the voice is not coming from the speaker. It's coming from behind your apartment door, the other side of it.
What? And so she looks to the door and she pauses and she lets go of that microphone button. And then she slowly walks over to the door, looks through the peephole.
It is Adelaide's assistant, Alex. I think we remember they have brightly colored mohawk hair.
I think so. Yes.
And they're carrying, double checking my notes that Adelaide sent me. They're carrying a suit bag. That's not what they're called, are they? It's a bag for suits.
Yeah, the black bag that goes over a clothing hanger that is protecting something inside.
Like a
yes.
zip up.
Yes.
And then they have like their satchel that they almost normally have. Like probably are coming from the studio, as far as at the atelier, as far as you know, with Adelaide's business.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I open the door. I don't open it fully. I like block. I like leave enough room for my body. Let's say that. What's that?
Alex seems totally casual, professional. You know that they know that you're a vampire. You're
Okay.
aware that Adelaide has let Alex in on some things, and I don't think Alex knows about the rest of your coterie. I don't think, but you've come and gone from the atelier before. You've been introduced,
Mhm. Yes.
bare minimum.
Yes.
Good evening. I hope I'm not disturbing. I was told Adelaide told me to come at this time.
You are. Continue.
She sends a gift, and Alex sort of offers the suit towards you. The suit bag.
Mm-hmm.
There's a suit in it.
She smiles lightly, takes it, and then she looks at him and she goes, or them, looks at them, and goes, "Do you want to come in?"
Do they?
I'm asking you, not me.
I would like you to roll for that, please.
Ooh. What?
Charisma.
Charisma and what? Persuasion?
Persuasion, I was kind of thinking leadership.
Oh.
Because, hey, you've got dots on that. But
Hmm.
are you... Persuasion would, like... Yeah, I'm going to say leadership.
I'm not like persuading him to come in, them to come in.
It's your magnetism.
Yes, I guess so.
Your raw animal magnetism.
Leadership and
Gangrel
charisma.
pun. Oh.
Stupid.
Sorry.
Stupid. Oh, 4 successes.
4 successes. Coolio. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do you you wouldn't have anything to drink, would you?
I do.
They're not. This is acceptable.
I open the door further. I step to the side. I gesture inside with that bag that I have in my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And
As they sort of like walk in, like a little hesitantly, but again confidently. There's nothing about, even though they know you're a vampire, there's no hesitation here or fear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Close the door.
There's a card, but if you weren't aware, Adelaide has gone. She's left Nice for a few days.
Probably some fashion stuff.
Milan, to look at some fabrics. She flew out. She flew out tonight.
Of course. All right. Should I describe my little pad? My little what it looks like? My little
Please do.
home. It's completely white, that's for sure. The walls and floors are white. However, the floors are marble white. So there's at least some like color in there. She has some busts from like Greek like mythological gods, all that kind of stuff, you know, or
Okay.
she has a Medusa head, marble Medusa head. And yeah, it's like as you walk in, it's that hallway, and then to the right immediately is the kitchen, and it has like a it's like you can look into the kitchen over the counter, basically. So there's like a counter right there, which behind that there's an island, and like a really good like cooking system, even though she barely uses it. And there's a huge fridge, like very, very big fridge, which contains blood bags and other types of cooled blood, but also drinks for when humans come around. She makes this home very comfortable for humans because that's who she invites a lot. Then when you walk past the kitchen, there's the living room. Basically, it's not like the kitchen is not like a closed off area, let's say. It's like all one big thing, and yeah, the living room is a little further. It has a really nice white rug with white couches, and she has that big flat screen TV, which she played the video games at just now. PS5 installed, everything.
Mhm.
And somewhere there's a hidden compartment with a lot of weapons, which she won't open and let him see, or them see. And to the right of that is where the bedroom is at. And there's like a bathroom attached to it and all
Okay.
that stuff.
They take a seat on a couch or a chair.
There is like a bar, so there's like bar stools there, and I think Megara like gestures them to sit at one of those.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for the offer. A nice drink before I go home for the night would be good.
Of course. Coffee, beer.
Wine,
Wine. What
White.
kind? White.
white wine, if you have it.
She opens one door of this huge fridge, and there's a big array of different wines that she keeps cooled, and there's also some on the side that she does not keep cooled because they're still aging or whatever.
Sure.
She doesn't really have like a cellar or anything, so like she keeps it right there. But she looks them up and down, and then just kind of like this one, and then she gets out a nice bottle of wine that she thinks is fitting for them,
Mhm.
and pours a nice heavy pour. And then she puts the cork back in and puts it back in the fridge, hands them the glass of wine. And she then is just kind of leaning on the counter, and she unzips this bag, which has a suit in it. Is it cool? What does it look like? Was there a
It is cool.
description?
It is a custom suit, of course. It's black, naturally. As you sort of pull it out, the light in the room catches it, and there's a very subtle, shimmery, so geometric pattern in the fabric. And there's a tie that matches.
Whoa, that's so cool.
Mhm. There is a card.
Oh.
Do you read it?
Yes.
The card is full of sweet nothings from Adelaide. But also, the card intimates that the fabric is reinforced in a way that might help protect you. It's cut very fashionably, and the note also says, check the tie pin. Remember we talked about this once? And as you open like the tie pin part, you can see that there's poison in there. Yes.
Adelaide.
Not enough to kill, but enough to incapacitate.
Oh my god. That is so cool.
You also will remember, you might be thinking, I hate it. I don't want to tell you what you're thinking, but I will say I was told Adelaide has never measured Meg.
This is true. This is true.
And yet, the suit will fit perfectly.
Of course. I mean, I wouldn't have expected anything else
Hmm.
from a woman who has worked in fashion all her life. She would just know my proportions from looking at me.
Yeah.
All right. That's very sweet. And I chuckle. And I go, she really is a sweet lady, huh?
So, Alex clears her throat. Uh, how do you and Adelaide originally know each other?
Well, I've worked for her once before, although she might not remember. I do a lot of guard jobs around the city, you know. I make sure that people are safe and that their property keeps safe, and I make sure their buildings are looked at and surveilled. So I was once hired to make sure that one of her ateliers was properly secure. We did not meet then. Although afterwards, we met each other on parties, and I move around in the societies that she moves around. Well, not truly, of course. I don't really belong to the society that she does. She, of course, is a woman of, grandeur, and a lot of people know her, and I like to move in the shadows and stay away from that sort of stuff. But those kinds of people tend to ask me to look after their things, and so we move in each other's circles, and we saw each other here and there, and recently we got a lot more close since we were tasked to look after someone for the prince. And that's where we got to know each other a lot better. So,
Excuse my ignorance, but the prince, Adelaide has mentioned them a few times, but I've never dared ask. Who is that?
Corentin is an interesting person.
Corentin. Corentin. Last name. No last name. Corentin, Prince of Nice.
Work.
But they're one of our clients.
There.
Okay. I
Yes.
admit there's much I do not know, but I don't think I want to know much more.
I don't think you do either. Yeah, they are very interesting. Very kind. She says that with not so much sincerity. And she goes, yes, that they put us on a job, and yeah, we've gotten to know each other a lot better. How did you get to Adelaide?
Job searching, easy enough. I've worked for a few other fashion designers in my career. Still very young. and I was glad to get the job with Adelaide's atelier. The hours are a bit strenuous, but it looks very good on my CV.
Of course. And I'm very nosy. I'm sorry if that annoys you. Do you have anything after work? Do you go out with your friends at all? Do you I don't know, go home to your family with the 3 kids that I don't know about?
No family, many friends, a few lovers. But at the moment, my career is my focus. And so they just sort of like sip their wine. I think we'll sideswipe there and move on to. We can come back to that scene, just so that we can spread the spotlight a little.
No, absolutely.
Maxime, what are you? You're awake. What are you doing? Where do we find you when the camera swipes to you?
Maxime would have, after last night events, spent a lot of time in his favorite chair thinking about the visit he got, what he requested of his visitor, and the day sleep would have taken him while he was sitting in that chair. So he wakes up once the sun is down and opens his eyes. They just go wide as he wakes up for the night. Looks around the room, books scattered all around, and slowly the memories of last night come back into his mind. And also there's this now louder voice in the back of his mind that keeps on urging him to continue what he started. And his mouth feels a little bit dry at this point.
What can you tell me about the ghost who lives in your apartment?
Ever since Maxime took up residency in this part of the haven, he had been having these strange phenomena happening. Items that get moved around, books that get knocked out of shelves, and he's been investigating. And from what he's learned by now is that there is some kind of ghost that haunts this specific part of the building. Maxime has been researching historical documents on like things that might have happened here. And so far, the closest that he got was that there are theories that maybe 75 years ago or something, someone was murdered here. And that would be like the typical cause of a haunting. But he's not too sure about that yet. And also, he hasn't succeeded yet in actually communicating with the ghost. Maxime does know a lot about blood sorcery, but about the art of necromancy and the likes, he's not too skilled on that part. But he does know, and it seems to be in the character of this ghost, that Maxime's moods are mirrored by the haunting. So usually when Maxime has a bit of a sanguine mood, when he feels agitated, the hauntings also become more intense. While if things are more calm, you could almost forget that there's a ghost here. So considering in these circumstances, especially with how Maxime wakes up with still like all the emotions from last night in his head, the ghost could very much be very present at this point.
I think as you wake up, you wake up to the sound of thunder. Almost, it sounds as if it's directly outside of your window, but when you wake up, you look up at the ceiling, and there is a thunder cloud inside your apartment, rumbling.
I stare at it. Is there any kind of rain coming from it? Is it just thunder and lightning?
It's very much. So you heard a crack, but now you can just hear like this low key rumbling of thunder, as if the storm cloud is threatening to burst.
I slowly rise from my chair. And I just keep looking at the cloud while I'm also thinking about how symbolical this is, how this does feel like a storm is brewing. And I say out loud, where will this go? Where will the storm break? While I keep looking at the cloud.
Can you roll me occult plus composure?
Occult plus composure.
Weird
No
combo. Weird with a
And-
Y.
And keeping in mind, 3 of my dice are replaced by hunger dice at this point. So
God, I love it,
let's
I love it, I love
see
it.
what's happening. That is 2 successes. 2 successes.
The storm cloud simmers, and the rumbling sound fades away, and it's almost as you're staring at it, you can see it just disappearing in front of your eyes, almost as if fading into or away, fading away from this reality. You know that there is that ghost is messing with my monitor right now. You know that there is something in between this realm and the realm that ghosts inhabit. Something that I think you would know is referred to as the shroud, the thing that keeps the two realms separated. For a moment, you feel like a cool wind with the smell of rain on it, as if coming from the inside of a mausoleum, and you can sense that place, that space, and an answer that says, "This breaks in death."
Would I know enough about the shroud and about vampire metaphysics if a vampire's kindred is destroyed, can their souls still linger in the shroud?
Yes, if they are necromancers themselves. You've read a blood sorcery books on necromancy, which is a guarded secret, one that I think the Tremere clan lusts after. Maybe there are books on it, but it is not something that blood sorcery. There's also blood itself. It represents life and does not lend itself necessarily to death or undeath, I guess in this case. Whatever. But yes, you know that there are vampires who are skilled necromancers who have, instead of dying the final death, have pushed their souls into past the shroud and into the other realm, and have come back.
even knowing that it's not possible considering what I know about her, I amuse myself with the thought that these words that I hear are delivered by the vengeful spirit of Roz from beyond. Smirk to myself. And then I say, well, it has to break somewhere. And I just, as long as possible, want to keep this. I get the impression that there is somehow, at this moment, the shroud and our world is overlapping here. And I'm just trying to get as much out of this as possible. Just also out of both because this is actually helping Maxime to process a few things, but also out of scholarly interest to kind of be a bit more in touch with this. Kind of seeing, is there anything else I could notice about the place? Is there anything visually that I could take in or observe here?
Roll occult and wits this time.
Occult and wits. I have 4 dots in occult, and I have 3 in wits. And 3 of those dice will be hunger dice. No extra dice. Here we go. There are no successes there. I have 110 on a hunger die and another 6 on the hunger die. It does claim again it's a messy critical, but it is not because I don't have 2 10s on the hunger die.
So just 2 successes.
We got eerily close.
Unless you want to use some willpower.
Oh, yes. I should. I totally should.
Also, are you trained in Auspex?
I have 1 dot, and actually I have Sense the Unseen in Auspex.
Perfect.
So I
add
am
your
going
Auspex to this roll. So add the extra die.
Okay, so I'm going to spend 1 willpower to re-roll 3 dice. So I'm going to roll a total of 4 dice. So first I'm going to dice to roll. Okay, I can only select 3 from the drop down. I'm going to roll a separate die after this. So this is my will. Oh! Yeah, that's 2 additional successes. And that was a 1 on that d10. So I have a total of 4 successes after my reroll.
And you're trying to peer in past the shroud.
Yes. I want to really see, like, how far can I push this? How far can I look across this boundary?
How far do you want to? And what are you willing to give to achieve that?
I am currently at hunger 3, and I imagine that Maxime's beast does not just have a hunger for blood, but also this hunger for knowledge, which is only enhanced by this increased thirst at this point. So I wouldn't say so much like how far does Maxime want to go, but he's just being pushed as deep as possible in by a curiosity that's also fueled by his beast. He needs to, this is a chance, this is an opportunity. He needs to see how much he can get out of this.
Okay. As you stare into that fading storm cloud, peer, unlock your senses that allow you to sense the unseen, you see the face of a man. He is a pale man in a blue pinstriped suit. Dark hair, coiffed very much back in like an 80s style, just like slicked all the way back, clean shaven, broad shouldered, fit, has like a very nice big ring on his finger, and the look of a bloody axe in his eyes. And he sees you back.
His look is extremely intense and fierce, right? There's a very intimidating look coming from this person.
Mm-hmm.
Maxime takes this person in, notices how far he is peering in now, and is going to try to carefully put a bit of more metaphysical distance between him and this figure, trying to not get too far away, because then Maxime might drop out of this, but he also gets a really bad vibe from this person.
Yes.
Ooh, you are walking the line, sis. Ooh.
I don't know what to do. Okay, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna take inspiration from you, Marcus, because you go hard to the wall with some of your decisions, and I find that so cool. So as you try to back up, he leans forward, and you feel him rushing into you, into your skull, your mind, your body. I need you to make a willpower roll.
Uh-oh.
Oh! A willpower roll.
Am I doing this right? Yeah, roll your
Because-
remaining willpower.
Right. Just to illustrate this, I have only 2 willpower left at this point. I have not regained any.
That's bad.
This- Okay, so I just rolled 2d10, but does that mean that all of my willpower gets replaced by hunger dice?
No. Hunger dice
Okay.
don't come into the willpower.
Okay. That's one
need-
success.
Okay, I was about to say you only need 1 success on this.
Oh.
Oh,
If you want to, you can eject the spirit from possessing you or inhabiting you. You can allow it to inhabit you, or you can eject it from possessing you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, I could say like, okay, you're inside of me now, or
But he would not be in control, but he would have opportunities to take control.
Oh, Krifu.
Happy birthday!
Oh. Maxime ponders this but considering the state that Maxime is in, the agitation, the hunger, and this opportunity, he's going to allow the spirit in.
Good choice. You hear the man's voice. I've seen your power plays, friend. With me at your side, we'll control this town. We'll take over.
It's usually polite to start introductions with your name.
Call me what you like.
You have a nice suit.
And call me the Suit. It's as good of a name as I've had since I've passed through.
Let's lay down some ground rules, Suit. I've heard about your kind. I've heard about what you do, how you need passage sometimes. You're
Yeah.
a guest here. So you behave like a guest. And we can see how this can be beneficial for both of us.
Sounds like a great time to me. Can you eat? I would sure love a good steak right now.
We'll put it on the list. If
Okay.
you're along for the ride to see what what I'm capable of. I think there's some other items on that list that should have priority.
Yeah, like this prince person I've heard you talking about.
You've been listening in.
Oh, what else am I supposed to do? Things aren't. There isn't a lot of entertainment options on this side, buddy. It's either try and stay in your world as much as possible, or I don't know, be ripped up by the ghouls, the ghoul birds. I don't even know what they are. Some sort of nerdy, freaky skull things that fly through the skies. You get an image of like this skull zombie ghoul type thing with big wings and like these razor sharp teeth that like rip through spirits in like a strange place. And then it disappears.
Can you share more of those memories?
Maybe.
Keep in mind, the steak is on the list. Keep that in mind for maybe sharing a little bit more of your insights.
Ooh, and a nice whiskey.
We'll see about that.
But anyway, you tell me what you need, and we'll make it happen.
For now,
And oh, go for it.
for now, I need you to observe.
Sure thing. I'll leave you with one little secret before I hop in the back seat. And you get an image of a floorboard in the corner of the apartment that can open.
And I didn't know that it can open, right?
I'm assuming not.
I smile at that image. Thank you. And are we slowly getting back into reality? Or
Yes.
as this tear between the shroud and our world is closing, Maxime having come back with a passenger, I imagine that he actually looks over to that corner in the apartment. He walks over to it, tries to lift it, try to open it.
You find the catch where it slides, and then there's like a hatch that opens up a bigger portion of the floor. Three things. A black velvet bag filled with cocaine. A small metal suitcase filled with bills. Let's say it's Swiss currency? Whatever the Swiss use? Something neutral?
Swiss money.
Because this would be from
Swiss
Swiss money. This would be
money.
from the 80s. So it's not the euro.
So in German it's Franken, so I believe it's franc.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, in modern days, Swiss doesn't use the euro. They still have
Right.
they still have the franc. Yeah.
Because
Right.
Switzerland.
I was thinking about having it be French currency, and I'm like, no. The suit knows what currency it needs to be.
Mhm.
And the third thing, a black metal handled axe.
Is it clean?
It is.
Okay, I look at the bag of cocaine, make a mental note to give that to Rainier.
Okay.
I look at I look at the money, and I honestly don't know what to do with that. How much in total would it be? Like in euros, how much would it be in, can I even know that at this point?
No.
Yeah.
It's also the problem. I mean, you looking at it, you're like, this is old. I don't even
Yeah,
know where I
okay,
would
it's
take
old.
this to. How do I bring this to a bank without
Right.
issues?
Okay, and I pull out the axe, turn it around in my hand. Maxime has absolutely no experience with weapons or just tools. He's not a crafty person when it comes to workshopping, and he looks at it, and then he puts it back with all the stuff that's in the floorboard, closes it, and makes a note to take care of these things later. Just like he should be taking care of a few things now. And gives himself like one last look down on if everything on his outfit is right. And then leaves the apartment.
Okay. We fade to black on that scene.
We gotta
Or maybe
hydrate.
we don't.
Little
We gotta
quick
hydrate.
Oh,
Thank you,
wow.
Extra Girl Wonder. So as Maxime, the camera, we see Maxime like leaving the apartment, going to the elevator, and it sort of pans down so we can see his feet walking into the lift. And then the camera pans low, goes dark, and opens up on Rainier. Where are you at? What's going on?
Rainier is in his part of this wonderful apartment, which is the basement. Currently, he's laying in his bed, which is extremely messy, as is the rest of his room. His room, I imagine, is a bit bare bones. Basically, it's just a big computer and some pictures of snakes with, eyeglasses and money signs and whatever on the walls. He wakes up, stretches, reaches for his scrunchie to tie up his hair because he usually sleeps with his long frizzy hair open. Looks at the pictures of snakes on the wall. Stupid fucks. Man, I'm thirsty. And then he goes into the next room, which is a bit more like you'd imagine an underground rave to be. Neon lights on the walls, lots of snake pictures there too. Music going really loudly, probably some people lounging around. He just, goes out, puts on his sunglasses first. What's up?
Hey, the masked group. Probably about, 6 or 7 people. All shout in response. And right away, Alicia starts walking over to you. She's now staying here. What does Alicia look like again, Inez?
I am glad you asked because I did watch the episode before this and I know exactly what she looks like.
Perfect, thank you.
She has black, long, wavy hair. I said like a Hollywood curl, which is like a really big, like open curl. And yeah, her face is very soft and very feminine, and she's very beautiful. If she was a vampire, she would be a Toreador. She would be very much like, beautiful of herself and be very curvy and very just conventionally very pretty. I'm thinking she hasn't changed out of her clothes then.
Since last night, no. Maybe
So
she might have come with a little bag, but otherwise,
there weren't any clothes in there, yeah. So
Yeah.
she's still wearing this blood red like mini dress, which has like two little strings in the front, which has pulled tight so that it gives like all the volume is going to the front, which means that it's like really hugging her curves. And she's wearing a bolero that it's basically like a coat that is just sleeves, because the rest of the coat it like ends here.
and I remember she's very American.
Yes, she's very American. We said like standard standard American accent, like North California kind of something.
So
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. She kind of walks over a little. She's trying to strut, but she's definitely like on something. I mean, she was shooting up last night. So she's been hanging out in this drug den. She's now living in this drug den, I should say.
Pretty much.
And she just like comes straight up to you, Rainier, and like puts one hand on your shoulder, the other like on your chest, and like looks up at you and smiles and says, "How fucked up were you? You've been sleeping all day."
You should not see my eyes. He, flicks his fingers against his sunglasses. There's a reason I'm wearing those babies.
Yeah, so been waiting for you. You want a party?
He thinks about it a bit. I have something coming up, but a little party before never hurt anybody. You need anything?
Sure. Now, she doesn't know that you sucked her blood last night. She was high.
She was out of it, so she probably just thinks it was the greatest high she ever had.
Right, but that lingering kiss is still in effect.
Exactly.
She
I'm
knows
just gonna
she
read up
wants
what
something
exactly
from
that
you.
entails.
I got it pulled up. Mortals fed upon by the user become addicted to the kiss, obsessing over it, and even seeking them out for repeated feedings. Mortals often become anemic, self-harm, or even die from this addiction. But vampires find it a useful power for cultivating a herd.
Yep.
Whatever
Right.
you want. I mean, you're letting me crash here, so you're, dealer's choice, I guess.
No big deal, no big deal. Enjoy yourself, that's all I ask. He beams at her. But then again, he is kinda hungry. Best to look for someone who he hasn't fed from lately, though. Just to be sure.
Okay.
I mean, one of his core convictions is he is a lot of bad things. Most of bad things people would say about him, he'd happily agree with. But he's not a murderer. That he's adamant about.
Okay. She's disappointed, but not.
Well, she can indulge other things for the time being. I mean, Rainier has some top-notch stuff. And he has some opportunities to make money as well. Did you know that NFTs are the future?
My God, I hate him.
So just to make it sure, if you hate Rainier, I'm playing him right. So he's looking for someone else to have a little drink from. I imagine there's at least one of his usual herd there he can feed from.
Definitely. I don't think you fed on. So it's best to, like, from what I've read, you feed on someone once a week. And you're at herd 2.
Let me check, just so I'm not saying anything wrong here.
3.
Herd 1, actually.
Herd 1. So you only have a few.
Yeah,
People.
I got to plan really well with that.
Mm-hmm. You've got 1 to 3. So you've got 2 other people here. We'll say Alicia's now the 3rd.
Yeah, sounds fair. I still have from our few shot we had before. I still got Damien, I believe a med student who mostly smokes.
Right. Okay. So yeah, Damien's there. That was from our prologue, I remember.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's mostly just smoking marijuana.
And when
Down
you come
in the
up,
basement.
he's like, "Oh yeah, hey yeah," and he quickly rolls up a spliff. 'Cause he knows, but he is aware of the kiss.
He is
So
very much
he,
aware.
instead of giving it to you, he keeps it for himself. No puff puff pass here, just puff 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 puff.
Just puff puff. Well, he does the passing only more
Exactly.
passively, if you will.
And so after, you can go ahead and remove 1 hunger.
Also, I'm high.
Yes.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
I think that does something with your perception, but should be okay for now.
Yeah, Rainier is a bit on the funny side right now, a bit wonky on his feet, maybe.
Where are you headed to? What's the plan?
Rainier's actually gonna call up his buddy, so Jean, because last he met him, he was a bit down on his luck, not being invited to the good party that Corentin always throws. So he promised him to, look after him for a bit because Jean is very valuable to him and he wants to keep that. So he's gonna ring him up.
Okay. Jean had a French accent. So many people.
Very slight French accent, I believe.
Yeah, holy relationship map indeed. Renier, hey. Jean answers the phone.
Jean, my man, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Do you already need more?
Oh, no. I just wanted to listen up what you're up to. But I mean, if you got stuff, I'm always buying.
Well, I am making a pickup tonight.
Ah, very good. You want me to come with?
Yeah. You should come with. It might be nice to introduce you. We're coming into a more of a partnership type of relationship.
Rainier is grinning like a shark who's just seen someone get into the water. New people? Important people?
I've been working with them for several months now, since the beginning of the year, actually, and well, yeah, be good to introduce you.
Very nice. When should I be there? And where should I be?
He gives you a time and an address. Let's say like 11:30. At this point, since it's November, I think we said the sun sets around like 7.
Yeah.
A few hours, and gives you a location. Looking at a map of Nice, it's definitely not. It's a very non-populated area. I'm gonna say somewhere north, like north of like the city center, away from all the tourists, and a more. I kind of want it on the waterfront. He gives you an address. I'll think about it.
All right. I'll be there.
Yeah, and just don't come armed, okay?
Don't worry, I'm not an arms guy, you know that.
I figured, but they don't like it when weapons are there.
Completely understandable. I'll just use my personality if things go south.
That's what I'm counting on. And things shouldn't go south. This is quite normal. It's just an introduction. Huh?
All right. I'm looking forward to it. See you then.
All right. Renier. Anything else you want to do before that meeting?
I think as he's slightly high, he's gonna spend some time thinking about, whoa, my feet are big. But he's gonna pull himself together and actually, I think he's gonna ring up Maxime.
Okay, Maxime. Where are you when Renier calls you?
I'm not sure how parallel all these kind of things are happening, but it maybe everything that Rainier was doing was happening parallel to Maxime's little trip into the Shroud. Sure. And he's at this point, he's just leaving his apartment to head towards Meg's apartment, because one of the first things on his list is that he want to do a little bit of a coterie roll call. And
Perfect.
He's basically on the way to Meg's apartment as his phone rings.
Okay. Do you answer it?
I recognize the number, and I answer.
Maxime, my man, how are you?
Rainier, excellent timing. I was actually about to head even further down to ask you to join a little group conversation.
Ah, excellent. Just what I was thinking as well. Should I come up?
You sound, even for your standards, very amused.
Let's just say I've got some things lined up for today that I'm really looking forward to. Also, I may or may not be a little bit high.
I see. And Maxime rolls his eyes at that a little bit and then says, I'm going to check if Megara is available. We're going to... Why don't you also head up to Megara's apartment so we can meet there?
Sounds good to me. See you there.
And I hang up.
Okay.
Rainier just shakes his head a little bit, thinking about, I think he could almost hear Maxime rolling his eyes. Man, what a stick in the mud. And then he's gonna, tell his people, I'm going out, don't break anything, see you, champs. And with that, he's off.
See you, puck champions.
Let's rewind a bit, Meg, so we can have a little bit of time for the conversation with Alex before a knock comes at your door. Alex is sitting there with their greenish, bluish, colorful mohawk, sipping this chilled white wine, and just chilling.
Okay, so we left off with they don't have any friends they have a lot of friends.
Some lovers,
A lot of
but their
some
careers
lovers.
are focus.
Careers are focus. What was the name of that guy who's trying to buy Adelaide out again? Alphonse?
Relationship map. Alphonse Noyer is Adelaide's enemy. A 2-dot enemy. Also Adelaide's touchstone, which might be a problem. One of Adelaide's.
That might indeed be a problem. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to very casually ask them, do you know the name Alphonse Noé?
They're like mid-sit. Oui. They nod. Oui, yes, I do, but why do you ask?
Just wondering. Where do you know them from?
We have had business dealings with Monsieur Noyer in the past.
Do I know if that's true or not?
Business dealings isn't the right word, but
Yes,
like
exactly.
Adelaide's relationship with him is in and of itself sort of professional.
Okay. And so she steps closer and kind of leans on the counter. Business dealings of what kind?
They look at you. Well, as of recently, Monsieur Noyer has offered to buy out Adelaide's business for quite a high sum of money.
Interesting. And what do you think?
Me?
Yes.
They sip their wine, like trying to stall for time. I think it is a good move. Adelaide does not. The buying out and going under Monsieur Noyer's umbrella could only help the brand, and the money is very nice, very nice.
The money is very nice. Does Adelaide pay you well?
Very well.
So why more money?
They're getting a little uncomfortable. I'm gonna need you to roll manipulation and persuasion or intimidation, because it feels a little.
If you want, okay, I would love to do intimidation because that I have more dots in that. I would love to describe how I'm intimidating, but I'll roll it first. It's intimidation, charisma? Question mark?
Manipulation.
Manipulation.
Not that it matters. You've got the same number of dots in all of those.
Hold, please. Do it again. Intimidation, manipulation. Submit it. Do it, please.
Do it.
Can I willpower that?
How much will? I mean, depending on how much willpower you have, yeah, you can.
I have all of it left. So
We're sitting at 2 successes with 3 non-hunger dice. So, yeah.
Willpower reroll.
Ooh.
4 successes in total.
Okay. Intimidate.
So I think at that point, when she talks about why more money, I think she goes from this position, which is very much like eye level with them. She puts both of her hands on the side of the counter, like kind of like turned towards her, her fingers turned towards her, and she rises up to her full height while they are sitting down. And while she's looking down on him, she just kind of makes herself a little broader, she's really using those back muscles to make her shoulders seem more broad. And she's very much looking down on them, but with only her eyes. And so she goes, "Why more money when you get paid so well?"
Sorry, just looking through my notes.
Please do.
Okay. Nervously sipping the wine now. More money is always a good thing, and I need money now.
Why?
In this moment.
Where is it going?
It's none of your business. And they sort of like.
I think it is when you are dealing with my girlfriend.
Listen, loyalty is a fine quality to ask for in an employee, but it is not a necessity. If I need money and you are not my employer, you are not my friend, you are a stranger whose apartment I'm in. And then they sort of like look at you and you can definitely see the fear come into their eyes now.
What do they wear again? What kind of clothing do they wear? Do they have a tie on, maybe?
Yes.
How lovely. I would like to grab the tie. Listen here, okay? Alphonse Noyer is trying to bring down my girlfriend's business. Do you understand? I would love to know why you would want to go into a deal with someone so eager after her business.
Because I owe people money. A large amount of money. And it is not enough that Adelaide could give me or that I would ask from her.
Oh, my goodness. And so you lead her to her downfall just for your own good?
It would not be a downfall. It is a good move for everyone involved. And then I could pay off my gambling debts.
Please. She lets go of the tie, kind of pushing them back.
I know it is not like the cough important to you. You have other concerns that I know nothing about, but it is my life, and I'm allowed to think and feel what I want.
You are absolutely right about this. But making it so that my partner loses a sense of independence in her job field just because you can pay off some debt, that is quite insane. If you need help with money, you could ask her for more money. Ask for more hours of work. You could even ask for my help. I'm here. Truly.
I manage the books for the atelier. I know how much money there is there, and I do not want to involve Adelaide. If we can work it out so that everyone benefits, then we can do that, and Adelaide need not get involved with these people.
I, of course, can't speak for Adelaide. She is not here, and so we will have no more discussion about this. I want you to think hard about what this decision will do for her business and what it will do for you.
They stand up, reach down, grab their satchel, and kind of put it on and hold it in front of them, protectively, defensively, even. I should not have come here. I should not have come inside your apartment.
Maybe you shouldn't have. However, here you are.
May I go?
She kind of puts her hands up, like, what can I do to stop you, you know?
And they go to the door and
All right.
leave if you don't do anything.
I don't do anything. I let them leave.
As the door shuts, you hear Tony's voice. Geez, what was that all about? Little Mouse is standing behind the cut of what kind of cheese was it that you gave him?
It was probably I don't know, like a Gouda, I think. Like an
Okay.
old aged Gouda.
A good old Gouda.
Mm-hmm.
And so they have he has a piece in his hand. He's like, oh, what a freak.
I wouldn't go as far to say that. However, he does have they do have issues for sure. The gambling, getting more money out of Adelaide.
Sounds like to me they didn't want to involve Adelaide.
Absolutely. This is true. However, involving someone else just so you can get yourself out of trouble is I don't think that's the right move.
Can you roll insight
I sure can.
and wits?
I sure can. Oh, that's just 2 dice. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. 2 successes. 1.
That's not enough.
I don't want to willpower this.
No. Well, you can't anyway. Because that's you already have the success on a non-hunger die. Yeah,
Oh,
so
yes.
we'll leave it at that then.
Okay.
Whatever. And a little while later, I think there's a knock from Maxime and Rainier.
Do I not hear you on your phone call in front of my door?
I think you would like hear like the end of the conversation as Maxime comes towards the door,
Got it.
and maybe also wait up a bit for Rainier to make his way upstairs.
Not gonna take long.
And she picked that up, and so her ears kind of perked up. But eventually, when there's a knock on the door, if there is,
There is. At least Maxime would politely knock before entering.
she then goes to the door, and because you knocked, she knows that it's one of you. And so she opens the door slightly, and then she sees you, Maxime, and she goes, "Wow, what a pleasant surprise! Just the person I wanted to talk to." And she opens the door further, and she invites you in, and then she sees Rainier, and she goes, "Oh, you brought a friend. Please."
Hey, Mac, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. And as you both enter, she closes the door. And she looks at the both of you and she goes, "Hungry?"
Very.
Opens
Oh.
the fridge.
I'm good, thanks. I imagine Rainier, if there's a couch or something, Rainier just sitting on there like he owns the place, which he technically does, so.
Yeah.
Meg, I think we need to rethink the amount of blood you've got hanging around.
Yes.
Because I think you probably, at this point, you open the fridge and see no blood available.
That makes
Fuck.
sense. Yeah, and the Maxime was already like in his mind like, oh yes, time to drink one of those bags, and the fridge goes open. He looks at the empty fridge, and there's just the slightest of growls in the back of his throat as he looks at Megara. We'll deal with it later. We have things to talk about.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
If we will, for future, I think we need to spend a point in a contact for you to get the access to the extra blood.
Maxime has actually a touchstone that can help him to get that. So that might be something also for on the list of things to do to refill that fridge.
Because Maxime's usually your source. Maxime's been
This
busy
is true,
lately.
yes.
Yes, busy.
One of his many mistakes.
And
Boy.
All right.
I look at Megara and Rainier. Unfortunate that Adelaide is not present.
Yes, quite. However, I got a very nice suit from her, and she holds up the suit.
We'll have to brief her then when she returns.
Absolutely.
I think and I look over at what's your Megara? What does your seating situation look like? It's like, do you have like a sofa or?
It's like one of those like corner sofas Like it has like a corner in there, and so that
Yeah.
it can seat many people.
Right.
And yeah, she gestures to you to take a seat. I mean, Renee has already taken the
Ranier has
liberty.
invited himself.
And so she sits down as well and crosses her arms. She goes, "So, why are you at my door?"
I've had a visitor.
Have you not?
Already.
A prince, and not ours.
Who?
He... Do you remember Madeline?
Yes.
Your little shadow, yeah?
Yes. I have finally met her sire. The Prince of Cannes. Richard Barret. He decided to pay me a visit yesterday. And
Well, I never.
I have reasons to believe that he knows about our evening with Roz.
What are these reasons?
That is a big, big if.
I
But
need
I
to
know
still
you.
I need to still verify it. I have not had the chance yet to speak with Madeline about it, but we all know how our relationships with our sires can be. How no matter how we feel about them, sometimes our tongues are looser around them. How we might feel compelled to tell them things we should have not told them.
You can say that again.
On the other hand, Barret came with an offer. I think he's very much aware of the still precarious situation our city finds itself in. He's willing to help us. Just name a person, and he will take care of them. At this point, Maxime is like standing while Rainier and Meg are seated, has his back to the two of them. I gave him a name.
Who?
Corentin.
If Ranier would be holding something, he'd probably drop it right now. It's one of the rare occasions where he's actually speechless.
If Megara would be breathing, she would gasp for air. Are you serious?
Maxime turns around at Dad. You have been seeing what's been happening in our domain in these past month. You have seen how I, with your aid, have been working in the office of sheriff, while Corentin is not moving a single finger except at their social occasions, their chances, these social gatherings, while we took care of an outside harpy. And now there's other princes from other domains coming here. They're not just here to be polite. This Richard Barret is not just here to give us a heads up. They're sniffing out weakness. And I'm not sure if we can have a prince like Corentin around too much longer.
Okay, but let's just say that works. Let's just say they finger Corentin for this, make them pay, execute them, blood hunt them, whatever. Who's gonna take up the mantle? Because I don't see anyone capable of this right now. I mean, me? I'm from the ministry. No. Mac? He looks at you, smiles a bit. I like you, Mac. No offense here, but no.
She laughs. She goes, no, you're right.
Are you seeing yourself in their shoes, Maxime? Do you think you would be the next prince?
There is a voice in the back of Maxime's head that is just telling him to answer this question in a specific way. It's the same voice that's telling him that it's time to feed, that is making him, if there were mortals in the room, he would be, that voice would cause him to be aware of the beat of the heart in their throat. And this voice gets louder. And what Megara and Rainier would see is that Maxime's actually, like, his hands tighten up into fists. And he says, we'll find someone. What is important for now is that we get this off of our backs. We should not be persecuted. We should not be hunted for something that we did for the security of our domain.
You are right on that, but you are throwing away something that would be far more useful later. We can finger anyone. Why do you want to finger a prince who, for all intents and purposes, is an idiot? Do you know what a prince is? Do you know what they do? Do you know what another prince would do? Someone who actually has ambitions. Someone who actually has something behind the pretty head of theirs.
And why would you not rather
is the
have
best thing that can happen to us right now? Because we actually can do what we want, more or less. And Corentin is the one who can, should, and will take the fall if we majorly screw up. Because they are the prince. That's what the prince does. And you want to throw that away because they pissed you off? Maxie, I thought you were clever.
This is not something personal, Rainier.
And
This
stop
is
acting
not
like
a-
it is.
What has this idiot of a prince done for us except being the head of a hierarchy that we are trying to improve? You're looking for someone that you can manipulate and steer? Then find someone who steers together with you. That will save you a lot of work as well.
I get where you're coming from. I really do. But Corentin, you are trying to throw them away right now. In a very easy and straightforward manner, and I can't blame you for that, really. But it's far more useful for us to have them on the back seat for something else, should something else go south. Right now, they are more useful to us, alive, as it were, than they are dead. You know what I mean.
If it is any comfort to you, Beret hasn't given me a confirmation yet that he can do this. But he
All the
knows.
better. Because right now, whoever is gonna come after Corentin, especially if it's one of us, and even if it's not one of us, is gonna be suspicious to them. Notice that I didn't come to you right now, but you, Aufhaus and Clan Tremere, and I wasn't in the Camarilla before all this shit went down. But from what I know, nobody really trusted you, did they? So how do you think would it look from the outside if Corentin suddenly got ousted and a Tremere of all people took the throne?
You can, with that remark from Rainier, you can actually see Maxime's head snap towards him. And Maxime does a very untypical stare at Rainier, like really locks eyes with him. And this voice in the back of his head is getting a bit louder again. Like, how dare he? How dare he talk like that? The hands keep getting tenser, and Maxime is like really radiating frustration.
I think Meg has been quiet this whole time, by the way. She's been watching this back and forth and very much nodding at what Renier has been saying, agreeing with him a lot, but she can see what's going on over there. And so I think she gets up and walks towards Maxime and goes, like, puts a hand on like the side of his arm. And she goes, Maxime, I have never seen you like this. What is going on?
One of his fists loosens a bit, and he carefully puts his hand on Meg's hand to just like confirm that he's slowly relaxing, and then looks at Rainier. You raise a few good points. The reason why I wanted to touch base with all of you is that we organize. Richard Beret knows about what's going on. I have a contact in him, but we need to know how much he knows. I'm planning to meet up with Madeline, trying to see what she told him. But we really should be making sure that we're safe for about whatever hits us. And at that point, I look over at Meg. I'm also worried about your pack.
They're worried about you. And not in a good way.
Rainier really has to fight back, I told you so, look.
Why are they not more involved with what we do, Megara?
Because this is not our domain. Our domain is out there, in those hills. We watch that every corner, every street lamp we stand under. That is all we do. We have been tasked to watch that area. Other than that, why are we coming here?
Yet you still walk the streets of Nice and feed.
Yes, because Nice is where my domain is. My little pad. This is where I live. This is where you all live. This is where Adelaide lives. This is where my jobs are. This is where the security is needed. Out there, they have the gated gated society. They don't need security from my end. They are fine. Out here, this is what needs to be protected, and that's why I'm here. The pack is worried, Maxime. They are worried of the blame they are going to catch of what we have done, what we have wrought. And they're looking
it's only
at
a matter
you.
of it is a matter of time until Corental looks that way.
All the more reason to find someone. And fast. Look, Rainier actually does, this. Even if he doesn't need to breathe, sometimes you just need to do this. I'm sorry I got a little personal there, Maxie.
It was deserved.
Still, we need to act. Because, honestly, Mac, I don't know your pack that well, but I'm scared of them. And something tells me I should be.
That's a good reputation to have, yes.
We need someone from outside. We need someone who would have had no stakes in this whatsoever. Because the second it's convenient for even one of us that someone gets ousted, then fingers are getting pointed at us. And Max, since you said that your pack has their eyes set on Maxi here, it's even all the more important. Maybe they trust you. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but maybe they have their eyes set on you as well because you associate with him. And I mean, I'm from the ministry. Nobody trusts me, and honestly, nobody should trust me. So the second even one of us benefits from anything that comes from this little interaction, at least obviously, we are toast.
Yes.
Correct.
So we need to find someone nobody of us knows, at least officially.
Something we need to give a...
Man, I really wish Adelaide was here right now. She's usually good at this. I can think of a lot of people I would like to have gone, but not like this. Not under those circumstances.
I can still figure something out with Richard. Maybe I should have another conversation with him. But first, I need to know what Madeline told him. There's a loose end there, and I might have grown a little too fond of the young Malkavian.
And she of you, probably.
So,
well,
I'm thinking about hitting up Madeline's place later. Is anyone of you interested to come along? Or are you having your own things to deal with?
I've got nowhere to be.
Rainier goes back to his beaming, cheerful self. Well, I'd love to come with, but I wouldn't want to disturb you two. Actually, I do have something to attend, so if you'll excuse me.
Keep in touch. And
I will.
Rainier.
Nothing big, believe me. Just, I need to keep tabs on what's happening in the
Rainier.
city. Yes.
Your honesty is appreciated.
I appreciate that you can actually take that honesty. Believe me, I do. Not many can.
Megara? Would you do me the honor of driving?
Of course. She picks up a warm jacket, kind of. No, she doesn't. My bad. She does not. She absolutely does not. Even though it is cold outside.
And
she does
raining.
not.
It is raining.
Yeah, well, she has an umbrella. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, she just gets her keys, I think, her car keys.
Before they go, Rainier actually beckons her to come over for a second. Can I have a minute?
Sure. We gather at the front door, I think. Just you and me.
Rainier, again, he doesn't need to breathe, but does this. That right back there could have escalated if it hadn't been for you, so he, touches. He would like to touch your shoulder, but he'd have to go tiptoes for that, I imagine, so he doesn't. He has his dignity, so he just pats your elbow. Thanks.
She kind of looks like she's got caught off guard by your thanks.
Not something
Exactly,
one
and so
usually
she
says.
just goes, no problem, I think.
All right, then I'll be off. You have fun. Keep the speed limit. Oh, don't. I'm not your dad.
She then lets you out. She turns around, looks inside at Maxime, and she goes, one more thing. She will open the secret compartment, which is it's hidden behind the TV. There's like a little lever near the PS5, which she switches, and then the wall to the right of it kind of clicks open, and then she opens a door that is completely flush with the wall. Normally, you couldn't see it before, and yeah, there's a little closet with some guns on the wall, and she takes a pistol with her. But if you look inside, you see a like glass box which contains a very ornate, beautiful looking sword, which has like a tassel on the end, and it's really sick looking. And so when she before she leaves, she kind of like on the box, and then she gets out and closes the door behind her, make sure it's like fully closed.
I am not sure you're going to need a weapon for Madeline.
I know. However, you never know what happens on the way there or when we leave. So I'm making sure all our bases are covered. Come on, Maxime.
Do you have any use for an axe in your weapon collection?
An axe?
Don't forget I asked. Let us go.
The camera opens. Madeline lives in a house, not an apartment. She lives in a small house, sort of in the suburbs of Nice. It has a garage, but she has no car. Maybe it doesn't have a garage. No, it has a garage. I think it's a very simple, like one story house. More of a duplex. So the upper level is also a different apartment. I guess it is an apartment.
Or is it one of those houses that's like two under one roof?
Yes, a duplex.
Yes, but maybe like next to each other instead of on top of each other. That's
Okay.
what in the Netherlands is a Donna lot, where they have one house and then they just split it into two, basically.
A townhouse.
Yeah, sure.
So it's a 2-story narrow house then. Great.
Sure.
Collaboration, I love it. Is she expecting you?
No.
No.
Fuck no, baby.
No. No.
There is a light on. And you pull up.
Hop out of
Meg,
the
is this what
F1.
you were expecting? Did you have any expectations for where Madeline lived?
I don't think so. I think she went in like completely blank, like she could live anywhere. I was just going off the direction that Maxime gave me. I don't think she had any expectations, for sure.
Okay. So, you were able to find street parking, and under the umbrella, find yourself before the door of Madeleine, child of Richard Bar, Prince of Cannes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Before we ring the doorbell or anything, I want to make sure that I have my Sense the Unseen of Auspex up and running. Doesn't cost me anything. I just need to indicate that I keep my senses open for that shiver down my spine or any kind of unnatural things I could be able to pick up with this. And as I focus in on that, just quickly check if Megara is ready.
She kind of adjusts the belt on the little satchel that she has brought, which she has stored the gun in, because she doesn't want to wear it around her hip or in like the band of her pant or whatever, so she has like a pretty big like satchel bag, but it looks empty because there's nothing in there except for a gun. Yeah, so she kind of adjusts the strap on that, and then she looks to Maxime, nods.
And I ring the doorbell.
In a few moments, the door opens, and you see a young woman with sort of light brown, wavy hair, if I remember correctly, a tan skin tone. She is wearing black sweatpants and a sort of gray hoodie. Nothing like you've seen her in before. Very much not expecting company. Good evening. Don't know where that accent was going. It was almost sounded Irish for a moment.
I mean, she is a
Bonsoir.
Macabian, so who knows?
Bonsoir, Maxime. Megare, Madeline says. Please come in. I'm so this is a pleasant surprise. I apologize. I'm not dressed for the occasion. I can change if you'd like.
There will be no need for that. I'm already happy we find you here.
Oh, of course. I'm doing some reading.
Any of the books that I've suggested you to read?
What books have you suggested for her to read?
I would imagine that Maxime isn't a great person to have small talk with, and there's like only a few topics that he gets to blabber about, and one of them would be books. And whenever given any chance to give, if Madeline would be open to that, he would be suggesting like some very classical literature, like really older stuff, like maybe even more in the philosophical corner of things. He would be suggesting some Kafka, some Heinrich Hesse, some kind of older classical, very allegorical writings. So fully aware that she might not even like those.
So he's basically every literature teacher ever.
There we go.
Yes, I'm almost done now with Narcissus and Goldmund. It is an interesting read. She frowns a little bit, but it passes the time.
Very well. Maxime would have already entered at this point, like shaking off the umbrella outside of the door, and then coming in.
Maxime, what
scoping
does
out the-
Madeline's living room look like? You've been here before.
Yes, I've been here before, and it's a quite cozy space that she made for herself here. There's most of the lights here are like these kind of Philips Hue lights that can be set to specific colors, and she likes to keep them in like these warmer tones. So stepping into the living room has this really warm orange, yellowish colors, and there is a couch, a very comfortable couch, but there's also these bean bags to sit in, like also like these like you can just sit in there and you sink away in them. There's in the living room also a little desk with a laptop on it, some kind of books that she's reading, just a very comfortable vibe here. I would also imagine that maybe out of kind of mortal habits, she would like keep the heating on sometimes. So also to add a bit to the warm vibes. Not that it matters for any of us physiologically, but there are certain habits that you take from life into unlife, and I imagine that Madeline could have one of those.
Plus, she doesn't want her cat to get cold.
She has a cat. Excellent. Yes.
There you go.
The cat is, you know that the cat doesn't like her.
Really?
Well, unless if you don't have animalism, most animals don't like vampires.
You are right. Well, animal can.
Animal
Let's
can.
be clear.
Correct.
Yes.
So if you need training specifically with it, she's learning. She's trying. So
Trying
this
her
cat
best.
kind of wanders in, like around the corner, like looks at the two of you, makes a face, and like walks out right away.
I have 3 in animal can, so it might like me at least a little bit.
But it's a cat.
I mean, she would. I mean,
You're
the cat
right,
would
you're right about
probably
this.
smell it like Toby.
Yep. Oh,
And
yeah, it would smell Tony, probably.
it makes a face.
Yes.
You can follow it if you want, but it is a
For now, I will not. I will
Okay,
leave it
okay.
alone.
Can I get you a? Please make yourselves comfortable, she says.
All you can get us is your welcoming presence. We
She sits
don't.
down on at the desk and like pulls the chair out, turns it around, sits very like straight backed, but knees together, sort of just trying to be as professional as possible in this setting.
We don't want to take up too much of your time. As I mentioned yesterday, I would be in touch with you. I will be blunt, Madeline. I was taken quite aback by the visit of Richard. Did
She
you know that he was planning to come by?
I did. And she you can see she's like got her hands together and she's sort of squeezing her fingers and looking down a little bit. I was aware.
And I assume you have been in regular contact with him since you came here to Nice.
For the most part, it was only recently that he asked if I knew anything about the disappearance of Roz.
Only recently that he asked.
Well, from what I know, the rest of the Camarilla in France, they went. It took a while for the news to spread around that Roz was missing. Corentin didn't advertise it. Not right away. And then first it went to the 6. What is it? Le 6 des Heures. My French is awful. Why did I set a chronicle in France?
Because you like the challenge.
I do.
Go.
Yes. First, he informed the C's, and they kept it amongst themselves first to talk about. Richard didn't contact me when that happened. A part of my training is independence, and yes, I'm learning to be more than a fledgling now.
You came to Nice in a very auspicious time. Remember the night when we met?
I had been in Nice for a week or so.
Fairly new. Fairly recent arrival. I'm still sorry for what you had to see. How have you been dealing with that?
She looks between you and Meg, and then back to you, Maxime. I have been told that unwarranted drama is often a part of the lives of our kind. And to be fair, to be honest, it was the most exciting thing that's happened to me since I became a kindred.
So you would say you enjoyed it?
No, but the biggest issue I've had being kindred is how boring things can be. Night after night, reading, watching films. There's only so much content one can consume before wanting more.
There is a certain edge that life has that you lose when you join our ranks. I actually just I look at her like really trying to also. Maxime sucks at this, but he's trying to take in the body language of like what does her expression tell? What does her posture tell?
Would you like to roll insight and wits?
Yes, please. That is
3 hunger. Go,
Three-
go.
Insight is I'm not that bad at insight actually. I have 3 dice in insight, and my wits is also 3 dice. I'm actually not too bad at this.
Don't have
3
any
hunger.
specialties, do you?
That's a total of 5 successes on 6
Oh my
dice.
god! You're crazy!
Oh dear lord.
No tens.
No 10s. No, the hunger dice are all successes, but there's no messy criticals there.
She is. You are riding the knife's edge, my friend.
Uh-huh.
The axe's edge. She is anxious, something that she always is. But you've come to know her. She's comfortable around you. She's a little wary about Meg. Doesn't know her very well. And you can tell she's not happy about the position you've landed in with her sire. But she's trying to be helpful. Whether or not she actually wants to be helpful or she's supposed to be helpful, that's hard with Madeline. Sometimes it's really hard to tell with her what is nature and what is nurture, what is
Right.
like intuitive for her herself, and what she's been brought up in and trained to do.
Right, yeah. Have you been talking with Richard about what happened?
I told him everything.
Everything.
About how we went out that night, pub crawling, the way Roz was, and what occurred in the penthouse of the hotel. He knows that Roz, all of the Cides know that Roz was a presence here on the Côte d'Azur was not one of helpfulness. Paris is trying to control us, and I can assure you, Les Cides do not want that to be the case.
Storyteller, question.
Okay. Kerfu is fine, by the way.
She says that she told Richard, who is a member of the Sea, who I assume, if Maxime would notice, are also a bunch of princes who are in touch with each other, exchanging also information with each other. So if Madeline told Richard, and Richard is member of the sea, there's a bunch of princes along the coast who know.
Maybe. How paranoid are you feeling right now?
I'm at 3 hunger. I'm pretty paranoid.
I was about to say, this man has a man in his head.
Give me politics and composure, please, since we're talking about paranoia.
Cool.
My God.
Politics and composure.
3 hunger dice, 3 hunger dice.
3 hunger dice, 3 hunger dice. That is
my
3 successes
fucking
on
God.
4 dice.
Okay.
Nice.
How are you doing this? So
Dancing on the
stupid.
razor.
Concrete Blonde, Dancing on the Edge, one of my favorite vampire tracks. It's listen, paranoia aside, every prince has their secrets. Despite the fact that these 6 princes on the Côte d'Azur are in an alliance and are working together to maintain this territory and domain for themselves outside of the overt control of Paris and the Ivory Tower, no prince lasts more than a decade without keeping secrets, without keeping folders of blackmail information that they can use on the other princes. That is what assures the alliance continues to work.
It's also the fucking reason that Richard came up with that. That is Maxime turns away from Madeline for a moment and just quickly glances at Megara and just says, Megara, does this look, from your expertise, is this a safe place to live alone?
Good question. Well, okay, so now I have to factor it. Now I have to think about some factors. So, is this a suburb that she lives in? Like, there's other houses around, right?
She is, we're gonna say, I don't know, west of the downtown city, probably close to the river Var, if I'm looking at Google Maps correctly, VAR. I bet that's a nice place to live.
Sure. But there's other people who live around her, yes? This is
Yes.
not like the only house.
Right.
1. 2.
She lives in, I'm gonna say, Saint Isidore.
Saint Isidore.
Wow. That sounds fancy.
That sounds good, yeah.
Most things in French do.
I guess you're right. 2. When she opened the door, did she have that locked at all?
Yeah.
It was not. There was no. There is. You've seen. There are locks on it.
Okay.
One. There's like the door handle, a deadbolt, and then a chain as well.
Okay.
And there's a peephole. You can assume maybe she looked through the peephole too, because she wasn't like opening the door and
Yeah.
she was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, hey!" Like
Yeah.
she knew it was you when she opened the door.
All right. Are there visible windows from here?
Yes, you were able to see that the lights were on and that someone was home.
Awesome.
You could assume someone was home.
Is there a back door? If I look like into the hallway or whatever?
I think there's a small garden.
Okay, so there's a back door. Does that have a lock at all?
Yes.
Okay. I don't necessarily want to go upstairs right now, but I'd assume that the rooms are like pretty standard.
And this is a well-built place. Like this isn't. It's not rich, but it's upper
It's
middle
not
class
rickety, yeah.
solidly.
I see. It's kind of like my house. And so I look to Maxime and I go, well, if I factor everything in correctly, then this seems pretty safe to live, yes.
But she's
My
still alone
safety-
here.
But my safety is not the. I have not felt unsafe since moving here.
That could change.
Exactly. Madeline, I know how one's relationship with their sire can be. I assume that you shared the information you shared out of plausible reasons. But this information travels. As long as you have that information, you will be useful to people. But when you stop being useful and become a loose end, our kind has a tendency to get rid of those loose ends. If there's ever a moment that you do not feel safe in your own haven, know that you can come to me.
She doesn't look around. She looks around and she thinks, I felt as if I'm being observed.
Observed? Does my sense the unseen pick anything up?
No. Sense the unseen. No, it does not. Oh. No, it does not. It does not. Okay, sorry. I was looking at it, I was like, oh, but, and then absolutely not. I cannot explain it. It is a feeling that comes upon me, not rarely, often, but in the last several weeks, I have felt as if as well in my own home, that I am being, something is watching, or someone.
Is there something like investigation that I can do to look if there are any cameras, any pockets, maybe secret doors that lead into the walls? I don't fucking know. Like, can I talk to the rodents? Hold on.
Yes,
Can I,
actually.
yeah, can I talk to the rodents in the walls?
That is, sorry, looking at your character sheet.
Go ahead.
Oops, wrong side. So we would need to pull, I think, Feral Whispers to summon.
Yes.
Or is it level 3 that summons? Hold up.
I don't think it's necessarily summoning. Yeah, Feral Whispers is just to talk to.
Feral Whispers can summon a chosen type of animal,
Oh.
but the
how
animals must be present to answer. Okay,
So,
start off with
one-
charisma plus animalism.
Charisma plus animalism. Attributes. Charisma. Roll it. Extra dice because I'm talking to rodents?
Is that a specialty somewhere for animal ken?
It is a specialty for animal ken, yes.
Do it.
So that's
Yes.
one extra dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Submit it. Do it. If it will. It might take a little while. I might be thinking about it. I might be thinking about doing it, but not wanting to.
Hit the button again.
Charisma roll.
Come on, roll 20. You want to
No.
talk to some rodents.
I don't think it wants to do that. Okay,
Maybe
sad.
just roll the dice manually if you can.
Yes, I will.
It's so funny. I have no idea how to use these sheets for rolling.
Animalism plus charisma. Extra roll would then be two. What is it? Fucking how many?
1 extra die for Animal Ken?
So
Yes.
2 animalism and 2. So 4 plus 1 for rodents. So 5 in total.
5 total. We're looking for a difficulty. Doesn't say. Let's see how many difficulties you. I mean, the number of successes you get depend on the margin on the test.
Oh, there it is.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
4 successes.
Okay. Would you want them to just come in? to the
Um.
living room?
Well, I think that in the middle of this conversation, Megara goes up to the wall and puts her ear to it, and then she can hear something skittering by, and so she turns on Feral Whispers and goes, "Come here."
Rats or mice? Mice. Mice are yeah. So, where do they come from? There's not a hole in the wall. Maybe there's like a perfectly shaped mouse hole.
There you go.
And you got 4 successes. Six mice come out.
All right.
All gray and dark gray colors, light gray, dark gray, come out. Madeline, huh? What the? Mon Dieu! I didn't know I mice. And they all sort of like sit in a line on the carpet in front of you and look up.
Mhm.
Eh.
I get real low. I go crisscross applesauce, sit on the floor.
Mhm.
And I get real low. And I go, good evening.
Bonsoir.
So cute. Our friend here feels like she's being watched. Have you seen anything? Anything in the house? Anything outside of the house?
Go ahead and roll manipulation and animalism now with an extra die for rodents.
Manipulation is 2. Animalism. Okay, hold on.
3 successes.
Manipulation plus animalism. So that's
Or over
4. So that's 5 again. 5.
Mm-hmm.
We're over here like Adelaide is the only social character in the coterie, but nuh-uh. Meg is
I'll willpower that, please.
2 successes? Yeah, you need 1 more.
Yep. I'll willpower.
can only reroll 2 of those.
That's okay.
Well, yeah.
Might still be enough.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay. Ah, oui. Eh, trying to think how they would say this.
In French, but Megara knows French. So.
Yes. So. Ah, yeah, oui. Shall we show you?
Yes, please.
Pardon, as they like move around you. 3 of them go upstairs. 2 go in the kitchen or like towards the dining room, like in a different room. 1 kind of moves over to the desk, crawls up under it, and like you follow that one.
Mhm.
Madeline like stands up and like moves out the way as the mouse like runs over, and the mouse is like sitting on one of the hinges, like or the one of the things under the desk, and just sort of like pointing with a paw at something in the corner underneath the table. It's a bug, like a microphone.
Wow. I'll take that out.
Dude, I knew it. I'm being. Someone's tapped my own.
I hold on. Actually, I look at her and I go. And then I tape it. I pull it out a little more. I make sure to not break it or detach it. But I tape it to the top of the desk. Make sure it's
Okay.
visible. I'll go into the kitchen and see where those bugs are hiding.
The mice find you pretty much a microphone in every room.
All right. I make sure I make them all visible, for sure. I have to think now. I have to think real hard. Because now they've heard our conversation. They've heard confirmation of what we've done. And so...
And they heard Madeline say that.
Yes, exactly. And so I think I'll look towards Maxime. Actually, I'll get real close to Maxime. And I'll whisper. And I'll go, the jig is up. How do we get ourselves out of this?
Take Madeline with us. Get out of here. We need to get in touch with Rainier as quick as possible. If they're listening in, if they've heard what we said, Rainier can also be in big trouble. I gesture to Madeline, and I just point at her, and then gesture that she's coming with us. Just like really gesture. And while also like repeating what Meg did, like put the finger on the lips and try to make clear to move as quiet as possible.
I think Meg has broken microphones in the kitchen and in the bedroom. The one on the desk, however, she lingers a little longer. And she goes, well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed the show. Coming for us will not be very fruitful. There's a dog waiting for you. And then she breaks the microphone.
Ooh, and that's where the scene ends. Okay.
Send a message.
Renier.
Things are going great.
We find ourselves. Actually, you are not far from where they are, where the river Var exits out into the ocean, right next to Aéroport Nice Côte d'Azur. At a very special hotel called the Holiday Inn.
International.
Holiday
Inn.
Yes.
At the world famous Nice Holiday Inn.
That is the place that Jean gave you to meet. It's an airport hotel. Yes, it's on a beach, and there is a beach club, and it's nice. I mean, it's Nice, so of course it's nice. Oh my god, I fell right into that. Um, but it's not the city. It's not the city center, which you are used to, where you live. It's dark. This is also the world of darkness, so lights, street lamps flicker, the rain falls, the streets are empty and cold. People are hurrying to get home and out of the darkness. And you find yourself in the back of the Holiday Inn hotel, sort of where the loading bay is, where the trucks come and to deliver food and whatever goods they have. How did you get out here? Do you also have a car, or?
Yeah, I think Rainier has, let's call it a car for the occasion. I don't think he'd drive up there with his, what did we say, Aston
Yeah.
Martin. I think he has,
Oh, yeah.
I think a Peugeot or
Mm.
something from like 2007, something that's so ubiquitous around here that nobody would even notice it.
As the police would say, the black sedan.
Exactly. Something that just, he was driving a dark gray Peugeot 208. Oh yeah, that's fucking helpful.
Mhm. Your buddy Gene is waiting for you, bundled up against the cold. What does Gene look like again? It's only been 2 weeks since our last session.
Gene, I think, was a bit, how do I put this nicely? He has his priorities, and food isn't one of them. So he's very lanky. He has very patchy beard. That's more like he hasn't shaved in a few days. His hair's a bit longer, but in a dark brown, I think. And he's mostly wearing, jeans, hoodies. Always looks a bit tired.
He's got a big backpack.
Honestly.
It looks like it's empty, waiting to be filled. Ah, Renier, over here.
Rainier comes over at him. He also wears, thick leather jacket, just so, it's not obvious that he doesn't freeze at all. Normally, and his grin says it, he would, hug him and stuff like that. And, hey, how's it going? But that's not really the place and time. So he's just, giving him a small nod. What's up?
Glad you could join. I think it will be very important for our future business prospects to introduce you to my source.
Glad that you let me join then. Also to note, even though it's dark, Rainier is still wearing sunglasses. Just to look more like a douche.
Okay. So, I haven't really told anyone this, but at the beginning of the year, someone reached out to me. They knew I had been successful in this line of work, and were looking to push some higher quality product.
I mean, that's always good. What kind of prizes do they take?
Well, of course, it's a bit more expensive, but
Of course.
Hmm?
Of course.
But it's good. Good work. And I haven't had any issues. In fact, since working for them, I've only been able to expand my product base. The party on the yachts were a great boon for me. Of course, those people can really afford what we're selling. Mostly, I think for at the parties, he's mostly selling party drugs, so like little coke, ecstasy, MDMA. Pot, of course, is
Yeah.
always on there.
The
But
evergreens.
this lines up with everything that you've known him for a while now, and you know that in the last year his services have become better.
Hmm.
And they have you heard of the Gravano family.
Has Rainier heard of them? I wonder.
Has he? Does he have streetwise?
Yes, he does.
Roll streetwise and intelligence, please.
All right. Streetwise, and there we are. Intelligence. I think he has. That's 1, 2, 3 successes. None on the hunger die.
Yes, you haven't had any dealings with them per se, the Gravano family. They are French Italian, semi-famous. Some of them, at the very least, very low key sort of fame. Lawyers, judges, and B movie actors. Quite a well-known, quite an extensive family. There are cousins of cousins of cousins. At some point in the last 50 years, one generation just had a whole bunch of children, and since then the Gravano family has only expanded. And you're pretty sure that they've got illicit businesses up and down the Côte d'Azur.
Okay, can I roll for, I don't know. Okay, I don't have a cult, otherwise I'd ask if I can roll for Rainier to make the connection I'm making.
What is the connection you're making?
I think they have ties to a certain Italian family who, let's just say, has unsavory dealings.
They might, but of course you don't have any occult, so there's that.
So I think at most Rainier would probably suspect that, but, well, nothing, no concrete evidence, so I heard of them, yeah. Pretty big names. I'm surprised they told you who they are from, actually, because, they have some bigwigs.
Well, between you and me, Rainier, no one ever told me we are from the Gravano family. I just put 2 and 2 together.
Rainier, I was about to say he gives him a wink, but he wouldn't see it anyway, so he does the finger guns. That's why I like you. You can think.
I try. I mean, I didn't drop out of uni for nothing.
That's right, you didn't. So, good to know them for sure. I take it they want to expand to here then?
They already have.
In a way, I mean, in a big way.
Sure, I mean it's very new for everyone, and Nice, of course, is a huge has huge potential, being a party city essentially. But I'm just bottom of the rung. I don't know much. I take the product, I move it, I give the money back.
Nothing wrong with that, I'd say.
They've been pushing me to expand my operations. Up until recently, I've been a guy on the street selling drugs. But with you, I think we could build something.
Rainier thinks it over for a second. Did you really think well about this? Because you know how it is. It's one thing first, then another, and then another, and then another. I don't want to talk you out of this. I just want to know if you are really certain about this.
I don't know what else I would do. What?
Well,
Not
fair
working
enough.
at McDonald's? Absolute hell no. I'm making so much money now.
Well, nothing wrong with making money, I'd say. As long as they pay you well, go for it.
Don't worry, I gave them the heads up that I would not be bringing you on if I had not already told them about you. No big, just no real information, just my partner. Huh?
Rainier nods. As you said, you didn't drop out of uni for nothing.
Oh, so shall we?
Lead the way, my man.
He goes up to the loading dock, kind of clambers up, slipping a little bit in the wetness. And you notice that the doors, like the hangar door, is like like just a little bit up, so that he's able to kind of grab the bottom and push it up enough for him to duck underneath and into the garage.
Rainier is not so good at that stuff, so he's a bit clumsy as he follows him. Like, oh god damn it! Here we watch the shoulder. Ah, there we are.
Marcus, I
Yes.
need a representative of the Gravano family here in Nice who is overseeing the operations.
Right. So, representing the Gravano operations here is a woman with in a dress suit. She has very red hair with some blonde highlights in them, and she's currently standing there with one of these long cigars, or cigarettes, like these, like the more
Cigarillo.
cigarillos. Yeah, exactly. She's standing there, just taking a few puffs of it. She's eyeing Rainier and Jean as they approach, and she looks at Jean, and Jean would know her as Luisa Gravano.
Okay. I don't think I've ever tried to do an Italian accent in my life. And I don't
Italian
think
cucina e la pizza, eh?
Just do
Let's
this.
not go down that road.
Come on.
But I was about to say, and I don't think tonight's the night that I start. So I'm gonna do something a little out of the ordinary
Oh.
and give her a British accent.
Oh.
She
Oh,
studied
my.
abroad.
Oh my god. And she picked up an accent that she couldn't get rid of.
Of course.
Happens to the best of us.
There you go.
Okay. Well. Jane. And this must be Rainier. Or?
Rainier gives her not his usual booming smile, but a very friendly smile, and actually does a very polite little half bow. Rainier Benoit Thra. It's a pleasure to meet you. And he
My name
offers
is-
his hand.
Luisa Gravano, and well, I'll be your contact here in Nice.
He nods. So, Jean here told me you supply well.
We do. And Jean has also mentioned that you are looking to expand his operations here in Nice.
Let's just say I have some ideas, but I need supply to get those ideas on the road.
Of course, we will start off with the standard arrangement, Jean. Unless Rainier, you've got grand plans or anything. Do you need extra product to move for whatever ideas you've got?
Right now, some extra product would be good, but I am aiming to get, let's say, a larger operation off the ground. Of course, I'm not buying the cat in the bag, as they say, so let's just say can we start with some, let's call it test products. I'm paying full price, of course, but I want to see that your quality is the real deal, that you deliver on time, that you can, let's say, keep what you are promising. I trust Jean, I really do, but this is a difficult operation. And if I can trust you, then I must see that for myself. I'm sure you understand.
Can you roll manipulation? I kind of want to go with streetwise on this again.
All right, can do. Manipulation and streetwise coming up. Oh, I'm gonna spend a willpower to re-roll that, please.
Oh, okay.
So
One
I'm
success.
re-rolling the hunger dice, obviously, and 2 others.
I don't
you
think you
could-
cannot. I don't think you can re-roll the hunger dice with willpower.
Mm-mm.
All right, then I'm just gonna re-roll 3 of the normal ones. A 5, an 8, and a 10. That's better, at least.
2 more successes. So you're at 3 successes total now. Extra product. Mr. Rainier, I'm afraid I am not... I'm not aware of who you really are. What is it you do here in Nice?
How do I put this? People want things, don't they? People want drugs, happiness, money, whatever. I'm the guy who gives it to them.
You are one of the guys. And if we are to enter into this agreement, you will be one of my guys. Is that all right with you, Mr. Rainier?
I don't want to come off as snobbish or anything, but first and foremost, I'm my guy.
So I take that as a no, then.
How should I put this? I'm one for partnerships, Miss Gravano. Not one for you are mine.
That's
I like what I'm
Mrs.
doing, and I'm good at
Gravano.
it.
That is Mrs. Gravano.
Mrs. Gravano, apologies.
She smiles. You certainly have more, and thinks for a moment, confidence than Jean does here. I like that. It seems as if you actually know what you're doing. Jean says, excuse me, Mrs. Gravano. Jean, please, the adults are speaking. And he kind of looks down, looks over at you, Renier, and then looks just is what the fuck? I'm glad you've come. Truly, Jean has been excellent for acquiring a foothold in the city. Of course, we have our other partners. We wouldn't have just chosen Nice because of someone like him. But you bear a aura of excellence, Mr. Renier. I will be happy to supply a little bit extra product. We are looking to move out of character, trying to think of drug terminology. They want to move... We are looking to move more of a pharmaceutical grade product. Pills.
Yeah, flu season has been rough this year, hasn't it?
Quite true. And if we are truly to move into the audience that we are worthy of, the upper elite, then our products need to be more tasteful, refined. You understand?
I certainly do. If it's the upper crust you are looking for, I can do that. Honestly, if you want the upper crust, then there's no way you can do without me.
Oh, is that so? Well then, Jean, you must have done a great job of partnering with someone like Mr. Rainier here.
I owe a lot more to Jean than you probably think.
And Jean sort of nods and says, Yes, I am not. You cannot just. Yes, if it weren't for me, Rainier would not be. Anyway, he's at a loss for words, or maybe just I am. She nods. Yes, Jean, of course. Your help here has been invaluable. All right. We have someone else who. Well, Rainier. Mr. Rainier. If you truly do move in the circles that I hope you do, then perhaps you'll know of a few shakers and movers. It's come to my attention that Jean here has been selling on yachts in the dock. Is that correct?
Rainier gently nods. He has.
Perfect. Then I will put you in touch with one of our sponsors here in Nice. And he should be more than able to get you access to even more circles and parties.
I like the sound of that.
Expect a call from Alphonse Noyer's people.
All right. Just let me write that down. Do I know about Alphonse is the question. I mean,
You know him. He's at the parties on Corentin's yacht.
specifically his relation to Adelaide. The question is, would Rainier know about that?
That's a question for Adelaide, I think.
That's true. In that case, let's just say if Rainier recognizes the name in relation to Adelaide, he
You've
is
seen them
very
talk.
well in control of his facial expression right now.
Good. You've definitely seen the Alphonse and Adelaide speaking to one another. What that means, because Alphonse is a regular at Corentin's parties, and Adelaide is a friend of Corentin. So
That's
there's a
true.
connection.
Well, Rainier nods. Alphonse, I know him. Nice guy.
I'm so pleasantly surprised.
I may not look the part, but I get around.
I'm glad to hear it.
So, let's just see how that goes, and afterwards, if all goes well, which I'm sure of, here's to a pleasant partnership. He offers his hand.
She shakes yours as well. We have other people in the city, but perhaps introductions can come later once we've clarified our relations.
I look forward to it. Let's be honest here. This is as much getting to know me for you as it is getting you to know you for me.
Exactly. I'm so glad that Jean was able to put this meeting together on such short notice. Honestly, when he called us up this morning to suggest bringing in a partner, I wasn't sure what the quality of person he would bring. Jean, well done. Honestly, I mean it. And Jean says, yeah, I get around.
Come on, don't sell yourself short now, Jean.
Mr. Rainier, we will continue to use Jean as the contact. I'm sure you are aware of the fact that we do not need to be saving each other's information in our personal cell phones.
Absolutely. Glad we're on the same page there.
Wonderful. If you don't mind, then I have other places to be besides this dreary cargo bay.
I wish you a successful night.
Good evening, gentlemen. And she stomps off in her heels.
Rainier nods at Jean. Actually, when she's gone, he actually, pats him on the shoulder. Well done.
That is the most I've ever heard her talk before. Normally, she's all business.
Let's just say I have a way with people.
I can tell you too, Rainier. Sorry, her British is rubbing off on me.
Well, I guess that's enough work for the evening. But what do you have planned for tonight?
Got any ideas?
I actually should check up on some friends, I guess. Just to mention, I think Rainier would have his cell phone on, mute.
Mhm.
So he's probably gonna check his cell phone right now to see if anyone has called or texted him.
You see a text message from Maxime.
Speak of the devil. I have to call someone, but let's say I'll call you when I got some time on my hands, all right?
All right. And he nods and bids you adieu.
Adieu.
And
And then... yeah,
and that is where we're going to end our session for this evening.
Aw.
Exhale.
Whew. Man, I mean, Rainier was nervous, but I sure was.
Yeah, so you can say that again. We're in trouble and make it double.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, I've got some updates to make to the relationship map this evening.
Yeah.
Some new characters. A wraith, even. The suit.
Man, this is getting
Mm.
interesting.
Yeah, very, very interesting. We will be back in 2 weeks on a Saturday, March 4th. We'll be back, and Adelaide will join us. So it will be probably at least 2 days moving forward. So refill your willpower completely. You've used up a lot of it. At least
Yes.
some of us have. And then your
Yay.
hunger stays the same, and we'll make rouse checks in the meantime.
Ha,
Uh,
ha.
Yep. Everyone go ahead and grab 3 experience points.
Ooh.
And Maxime, I'm going to give you 1 extra for letting a ghost inhabit your body.
Fucking possess
Well, thank you very much.
Get into your mind.
Mhm.
Thank you for allowing me to be possessed by a ghost. This can only end well.
Yeah. Of course.
You were talking about like there's a voice in the back of your head. And I'm like, well, actually there are 2. But the suit is observing in the back seat as you asked him to.
I got the suit, I got the beast. I'm gonna have to ask them to start paying rent.
Yeah, that's for sure.
He's paying in services.
In the meantime, in the next 2 weeks, of course, you can find all of us online and on Twitch doing other various things. So let's go ahead and get your plugs. Starting with Henrik.
Hey there, I'm Henrik, also known as Der Weltenweber, also known as Weaver of Worlds. I do mostly Dungeons and Dragons on Twitch, most in German too, sadly. So if you don't speak German, then sadly, that's not for you. But I'm also a GM for hire, and I'm currently looking for people for a group based on the Persona franchise, if you're familiar with that. That's currently on Start Playing, and I advertise that on my Twitter. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, there's still room.
Okay. Inez.
Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. It's me, your friend, Inez. I had so much. I was caught off guard because my whole mind has just been kind of blown because of this episode. This is kind of we've gotten ourselves into quite a predicament. Okay. Anyways, you can find me everywhere on the internet at XXSuccubusGF or just SuccubusGF. my face is quite literally everywhere. You can find me easily. TikTok and Twitter are most active. My TikTok's getting more and more lit these days. If you want to see me, work it fiercely, as I say on TikTok, it's very fun. It's very cute. I'm going to make some TikToks with this makeup. So come watch that. They're very cute. And Twitter is where I post the go live links and all that stuff. In fact, I think tomorrow we are back here, right?
Yes.
Yes. So I always double check. Tomorrow we're back with Space Looks and Kill over here on Manapot, where I play Chrysis Fenfire, the who we have dubbed the tall goth dragon mommy, I think. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, we got Sword Daddy and Dragon Mommy.
Yes, absolutely. Who are in a work marriage.
They are work wife and work husband. That is correct.
Oh my god. What a good game. Come watch that. It's really cool. It's really fun. And yeah, I play her. She's very quiet out of battle, very loud in battle. It's very, very fun. So come watch that. Other than that, I think that's it. I think that's all the games that I have. Aw, I miss having like 3 games a week already. Actually, yes, you are right. Is that this Friday?
It is.
What?
It is.
It
but
is.
I'll cover that when we come to
Yes, please do that. Okay, I'll leave that to Krifu. Thank you. By the way, I love you so much.
Marcus.
Oh, hello there. I'm Marcus, online known as Such Individual, and when I'm not on this game making terrible decisions that will come bite me back in the ass, I am running a D&D Eberron game on Horde of Tales where I GM for a party that never ever makes terrible decisions that haunt them. It is great fun to watch that party go through their adventures in Eberron, and we're having a next session coming Tuesday. The party is currently looking for a way of bringing back one of their party members from death, as they actually had to claim an artifact linked to the plane of Mabar, and the only way to get it back was in the hands of death. Last session was already fairly intense, as they made sure to buy some more time to get that party member back. And in the common session, we're gonna see if there will be a way of getting her back from the other side. Also, the game has very cute velociraptors and lots of other fantastic things. So if you want to drop by at Horde of Tales, where we're playing Convergence Manifesto on Tuesday. Thanks very much for joining and allowing me to be in this group.
That is definitely reason enough to look at this game. Cute velociraptors. That's all. That's all you have to give me.
Definitely give Horde of Tales a follow. I've given them a shout out. We stream a lot with folks from Horde of Tales, and hopefully we'll continue to do so in the future. Hi everyone, I have been Krifu. I am and have been, will continue to be, Krifu Bernal on Twitter and Twitch and Instagram, but Twitter is probably the best place you can find me. You can also find me regularly here on Manapot Studios as a producer and role player and often game master, although not always. We're back Monday night, Inez and I and some of our other friends, with a makeup session for Space Flicks and Kill. I was having technical difficulties. In fact, the next 2 weeks are makeup sessions for Space Flicks and Kill because of real life issues. But oh well, it's fine. And then Friday is the kickoff for the 2023 spring season of the EU Happy Hours. The EU Happy Hours are an excuse, basically, for me to gather role players from across Europe and the United Kingdom to network and play together and get to know one another and showcase our stuff. So yes, I posted that you can check the calendar and the link down below for all of that awesome stuff. And on Friday, I will be running a Pathfinder 2E adventure from the free RPG day in 2020 called Little Trouble in Big Absalom, or as we're going to call it, Oops, All Kobolds.
Yes.
So Monday and Friday, I'll be here on Mana Pot. And yeah, follow us online and everywhere for all the other great Mana Pot stuff. And please stay tuned for the raid. We're going to go over to Starlight Tales, who I think they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Yes.
Yes.
So we will be heading over there. But thank you, everyone. If come back in 2 weeks for the next episode of A Study in Ivory. And poor Adelaide will have to deal with all the bullshit that's happened.
Oh.
Ay.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Mwah.